Yo, and welcome back to Dan Escapes. I'm on a bike in Korea. So the nice people at Trek Bike store in Gangnam have lent me a Trek Madone, so it's an SL6 with 105 DR2. And I'm gonna do a small ride. Nice to get the legs moving. And then I'm gonna go along the river. So just to give you some context to why I was in Korea, it was a holiday back in May and I've only just got around to editing the footage, so I thought it'd be something nice to share, and yeah, hope you enjoy. This is such a nice little path that they have carved out here, just along the river. You can pretty much ride the whole of the river on this bike path and then go to the other side, which I'm about to do. I'm going to go towards what's called the battleship, I think, and then come back. But it's so nice that you've got these bike lanes. There's also routes up to the Namsan mountain, which I see people go up. And I think I saw a Trek ride last night because there was quite a few people on Trek bikes, mainly Madones and the Mondas. Cycling's a big thing around here. And I was talking to the guys in the shop, and they were saying how they sell a lot of expensive high-end road bikes. I guess where their area is, it's called Gangnam. And what I noticed is there's a lot of expensive cars around there, more so than I see in London. So many expensive bikes. Just seen an S-Works go past there. It's crazy. I don't have my shoes on today. I've only got some trainers. And I left my Wahoo mount in my suitcase, and they didn't have any Wahoo pucks there, so just going across the river right now. It's crazy, because above me is a road which goes over to the other side. So many cool little neighborhoods in Korea. Well, I say Seoul, and I really enjoyed being down in the south in Busan. There's so many fun places. I really enjoyed it out there, especially on the beach. I was able to surf on the tiniest of waves. I have no idea where I'm going. I'm just following the bike path. I guess this is kind of like Richmond Park in London, or Regent's Park, but super long. Because along the Thames you won't get this clear bike path. But the fact that you can do it on both sides, it's crazy. And I guess that's why you see so many people on bikes here, just because it's quite accessible to cycle as a form of exercise. Whereas when you get off these roads, that's where it can be a bit hairy. People out in the streets, people walking, like cars, and they do drive a bit crazy here. And luckily Trek had this bike. They're originally going to give me a Honda ALR, which I have back at home, but they set me up with this Madone. It's the only demo bike they had, so worked out really well. So I'm back to my trusty Di2, and once you've been on Di2, it's hard to go back. Woo. They did invite me on a club ride. They were gonna do one on a Sunday, and I was like really up for it, but we were traveling back to Busan that day, so unfortunately I couldn't make it. Obviously it's nice to ride with new people, and it'd been nice to meet the locals, like the local riding scene. And something you could probably do if you email the Trek stores in advance. Apparently their Trek rides happen every Sunday, so if you bring your kit you can go ride with them. Super nice. Apparently Korea has this nice little like highway section like this, like a bike lanes, and you can go through all the rivers in Korea. I think it's like 600 something odd kilometers of bike lane along rivers, which would be a fun trip. You can also get this little passport that they give you if you want to do the trip. And then at each section there's like a little place where you can stamp your passport, and then if you collect all the stamps you can send it back, and I believe they give you either a certificate or medal, which sounds like a really fun adventure to do. Just get your stuff, either like, I'm not sure about camp, but you know, stay in hostels along the way, in hotels if you're feeling a bit bougie, but I'd love to do that. Okay, so I got to the battleship, which is on the left of me. Alright, so here's my sketchy setup. Got like zip ties and put it in the corner of the buttons so that way it didn't slide up and down. So it's quite nice because of it going narrow at the top. I thought it would slide out, but by being there I thought it'd hold it in place, and it has alright. But yeah, got my Insta360 up there, got my nice flat pedals and the best sneakers. Well, they're great because they're really breathable, but they're not great because it's got a flexible sole, so not that hard. Also, what was really nice is they lent me a Velocis helmet. Also, they're doing baseball behind me. It's a big sport, and also having to go in a batting cage is super fun. But yeah, they lent me a Velocis helmet, which is nice because it's super hot and sweaty out here. To a skate park. We've got little things, got mini ramps, some stairs. Don't know at what point do I turn around and start coming back. Also, I've only got 24% battery on my Insta360, so I want to save as much as possible. Okay, so I've done a turnaround point. I'm switched to my phone because I want to save as much battery on my Insta360. Done 18k, so it'll probably be another 18k back. I haven't done much elevation. My max ascent is 15 meters. So yeah, that's how much climbing I've done. But I guess it's good to do your zone 2 training along here and do some sprints. Also, they have these really cool outdoor gyms. Some of them even have free weights as well. Look at this. Got a bit off piste, going inland to the north, and there's a little river running next to me here, which is kind of quiet, and they got another bike path along here, which is super cool. See where it takes me. Hope people are stopping off on their bikes and doing some exercise. Super peaceful area. There's little fish swimming down below, and there's a nice little spot. Show off the bike. Madone SL6. It rides super nice. It's like snappy. I can imagine riding the SLR frame would be even better. And pair this with some really good wheels and it'd be a great bike. Look at that. Alright, so we're in about 32k now. I'm riding over an hour. And I must say, I haven't missed my shoes. I haven't been like, oh, I really wish I had my cycling shoes on. I think if you had a good pair of hard sole trainers and some sticky pedals, perfect. Like, don't need to clip in. Obviously there are benefits to being clipped in, and I'd still take being clipped in rather than riding on flats, but no harm in just riding in normal trainers. Like for instance, my friend Kai, when I go riding with him, well, he's moved back to Spain, but when I was riding with him, he'd always ride trainers and flat pedals, and he'd be smashing people up the climbs. Like, at the end of the day, it's not about what bike you ride, what gear you ride, what shoes you're riding with. It's all about your leg power. These are the machine that drive the bike. Obviously, if you pair good muscles with a good bike, good shoes, it's going to perform super well. Because I've ridden like a low end road bike, and then compared to this, and just less effort you have to put into it, and you can go flying. Like now I'm just averaging like 30k on this road, and I feel like I'm not putting any effort in right now. So it does make a difference on which bike you have, but if you want to be a better, faster cyclist, just train, keep training. Now which side of the road should I go on? I think I have to go on the other side. Yeah, this is footpath, cycle path on the other side. If you go left here, it might quickly take you up there. It goes into the city, and it's kind of like an Americanized area because they have a lot of, I think the US base used to be there. It's actually quite nice and chill, so it's a good area to hang out, but it's quite, I'd say, pompous in a bit. It's kind of like Shoreditch, Hackney. So the cycle path stops here, and then it goes on to a mini one. But to be honest, I don't really fancy going up there. It's a bit of a hill climb. Plus, I gotta get back, and I'm really hungry. And that's the biggest thing in Korea. It's not really good for vegans or vegetarians. Like, you can't just go off on a whim. You have to really research the place. Let's go back. I'm gonna drop the bike back, and then we'll head off. Okay. Got the Namsang mountain and the tower over there. You can cycle up that. Can't run me for that. And if you can, and you're in Seoul, getting a bike, whether emailing the Trek store beforehand to see if you can grab one of their demo bikes, or if they have anything. They will have a limited size, because I think that store is more about selling bikes rather than renting them. There's some stands like this where you can rent bikes from, so there's lots of them. There's actually a few free places. If you're actually a resident, you can get like free bikes. So there you go. Sometimes it can get clogged up like that, but so far it's been pretty clear, the bike paths. Thought of eating is making me very hungry. I just bought like a little energy bar with me. I should have stopped off earlier. And the one thing I did have to buy from the shop, because I couldn't find mine, was a water bottle. Yeah, and they've got the Madone aero cages. So as you can see, I've got a normal round bottle, and it's actually been alright getting in and out of the cages. I'm actually really happy I got to cycle. I didn't know if I'd timed it right, or if we were going to get bad weather today, so it was going to be a write-off all day. But luckily, it was only in the morning. I managed to get out on the bike, and it's freshly late on. So yeah, big shout out to Trek Bikes Gangnam for sorting me out. There's a few other Trek stores in Seoul as well, so maybe message them as well. Also, there's other bike shops, they might have something. But yeah, it's been super enjoyable and a great way to get around the city and just see different sites really quickly. Because that's the other thing, like walking, it's quite far to get everywhere. Alright, so that building in front of me is the tallest building in Seoul. It looks like the Shard. When I first saw it, I was like, wait, I'm in Seoul, not in London. It's actually taller than the Shard. So it actually stands at around 550 something meters, and the Shard is only 309 meters, I believe. So it is a big, tall building. Alright, so I'm gonna head back. I'm on 43k, so I don't know how long it's gonna take me to get back to the Trek store. Yeah. Han River. I actually saw people doing wakeboarding in the river, so like a boat was pulling you along, and it's an activity you can book and do out here. So something worth checking if you're into water sports like that. There's a little train going past. I'm coming up to 47k. I'm going to see where I am when I get to the turn off. I want to finish the ride on 50k at least, and then go from there. So I just stopped to this 7-Eleven to get like a energy bar and filled up on some curry sweat. It's my go-to now in Asia. When I was in Japan, I was just drinking that non-stop because we went there during the summer and I was just sweating profusely. But filled up my little bottle, although I'm going to be back in a bit. But what's nice about being in Seoul is you can leave your bike and no one's going to steal it. Yeah, no one's going to steal your bike out here. It's always just really safe to leave it anywhere. I think I went past the MAAP store, people were leaving like 16 grand bikes outside. Not even locked up, so you could easily walk off with it if you wanted to, but just because it's so safe around here, they trust that they can leave their bike there. Just like that, back at the Trek store, on the busy roads. There you go. Alright, so that was the Trek store. They're super lovely in there, super friendly. They were a bit shy, so they didn't want to be on camera. But they gave me some gifts, which was super generous. I didn't want for anything or ask for anything, but they went out of their way and gave me some stuff. And went out of their way to help me set up the bike for myself. But yeah, I'm going to head to the MAAP store, just have a look around and show you what it's like, because we don't have one in London. It's over this way, right on the corner there. MAAP. It's a cool little walkway. So after a day of cycling, filled up my belly with some amazing vegan food in Korea. It's this place called Camouflage in Itaewon, and 100% recommend it if you're vegetarian or vegan. So Camouflage is up behind me on the second floor, and the owner was super cute. He had shown me pictures, well, he's got pictures all around the restaurant, and there was like 7 cats. And I was like, the dream, the dream. And I showed him pictures of my cats. But the food was super tasty, and yeah, recommend it. But I think that's it for today. If you've ever been cycling in Seoul or want to cycle in Seoul, let me know in the comments below. It'd be interesting to find out what routes you did, or if you've done that full loop of the river, which is like 630 odd kilometers. It'd be fun to hear your stories about that. But yeah, that's it for today's episode. If you enjoyed it, please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, as it helps a lot and I appreciate it so much. Hope you're all staying safe, staying positive and fun, and I shall see you in the next one.